Okay, we're live here. It's Saturday. It's a really good day. And this is the Monster Community Podcast, I think episode number 6. Obviously, we're minting now. We've derugged our project. Please do jump in the Discord, find out more about us. But it's brilliant this week to get another amazing guest. And we've got Violetta Zironi here, who is, I've got a list of things here. I never normally make notes, but singer, songwriter, musician, actress, NFT founder, community builder, NFT expert and supporter. Oh, and just, one more tiny thing. Number one NFT music artist on OpenSea. So, I'm sure I missed a few things there, Violetta, but welcome. What
Thank
a
you.
day yesterday was. How amazing was that?
Oh, it was amazing, completely unexpected. For those who might not know that are watching, the project minted out last night, very unexpectedly. I didn't think yesterday was going to be the day, but it was. So, yeah, you have to take it the way it comes. And, we worked really hard towards it, and finally we made it. And now, we have some good results already with the OpenSea secondary sales and everything. So
Oh,
couldn't be happy.
it's great, isn't it? There's been some real activity as well after sellout. A lot of
Yes.
people picking up, you know, oh, look at that one.
Oh,
One
wow. Let's go.
20th sale, V.
Nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Congratulations. Whoever
Do we
got that one.
want
I
to
mean,
do we want to
that's just
stop who that is?
so yeah, someone's picked up a gold there. I don't have gold. I'm gutted at that. But I don't think I'm going to be getting one now. I think the days where you could snipe one quite cheaply on the floor, Violetta, have gone. But that's a priceless success, and I'm so chuffed for you. It's just brilliant. But before we get into that a bit more, what about let's have a chat. What were you doing before Web3? Because obviously you're massive in Web3 now. What were you doing before?
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's an important question because everyone who's in the community should know that I was making music before Web3. I've been making music for a long time. I started when I was 18 and I'm 27 now, so it's been 9 years of music being my main occupation. Yeah, like you mentioned, I did some acting as well, but that's always been like a side gig that I took on when I had a good opportunity. But mostly, I spent the last 9 years of my life playing concerts, playing live all the time. Of course, until the pandemic happened, I was just on the road all the time. I would be away like, I don't know, 3 months a year, spread throughout the year, just in Europe, America as well. And yeah, writing songs. I wrote a lot of songs for other artists as well, for movies, different kinds of commercials. Of course, I released my own records. I have 2 EPs before the Moonshot one, so three albums in total. And yeah, I've just been staying very busy with being an independent musician because I did sign with a major label at 18, and then we left each other. We parted after a couple of years, and I've been independent ever since. So it's a lot of work, for an independent musician. But yeah,
That's
that's it.
amazing. No, that's it. That's it. Just that. So what was the point then that you got into Web3? What triggered that, and what did you do?
Yeah. So, well, last year I kind of hit a wall. Last summer, um, I wasn't sure where I was going with my Web 2. I mean, I didn't even call it Web 2 career, just like my career, right? Um, I didn't really know where I was going anymore because the pandemic was a really hard hit on a lot of independent musicians. A lot of us quit because without live shows, we couldn't make enough money to live, let alone to reinvest on ourselves and on our project. So um, yeah, I was just like, I was tired, exhausted with record labels and always telling you all you have to do is be viral on TikTok. That seemed to be the only way, right? And I was like, it cannot be the only way. I'm sure there's millions of people in the world who don't look at TikTok videos and don't find their music through TikTok, because it's hard to become viral on TikTok. It's not like you can do it overnight. I mean, some people do, but that's very lucky. Um, so I was just, I was just looking for a change, and I told myself that I was going to make one more record. I received some fundings, enough that I could produce the best record that I possibly could, that I was very proud of. We went and recorded it in Nashville, in America, with a Grammy-winning producer. And I told myself, I'm going to make this record, then I'm going to try shop it around to record labels, to someone who'll be able to buy the masters off me, and then give me the kind of structure I need for this kind of record, because it's not just a throwaway record. It's a good one. The people that worked on it really have, big pasts, big CVs. So I thought it deserved more than just being thrown out on Spotify and then forgotten. So I started shopping around to labels, and I just kept getting no's after no's after no's. And the reasons were, this is too old fashioned. We don't have the money. We don't, you don't have a TikTok presence, and stuff like that. So yeah, I even went all the way to London for a day to play in front of I booked myself a show in London in December, and I was promised by a manager that an A&R from an important record label would come, because they loved my record. And I get there, and they sent the intern, 22-year-old kid, just out of university. And I'm like, oh God, okay. Right. That's how much I'm worth to you. Right. You're 22-year-old intern. Sweet. And then I never
That's
heard
so
anything.
disrespectful. You travel to a country to do something, and that's what you get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I bet you were sat there going, well, even if they come back and say yes, they can go screw themselves,
Yeah. Yeah. And afterwards, the response I got from them was, she's amazing, but our funds are being cut right now. The British government, whatever, is cutting the funds of record labels, whatnot. And then they had, the 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 courage to tell me, you know what? But I'll have a meeting with her if she wants to play in front of me in my office. So in their minds, I was supposed to fly again to London to sing one song in front of this guy's face in his office. And I'm like, this cannot be the way, This is I shouldn't have to prove myself after all I've done. I shouldn't have to prove myself like this after all I've done. So I was like, okay, if this doesn't work out, if something doesn't work out within the year, I'm going to quit because I'm tired. I'm just tired of swimming against the tide. It was just so hard, out of my control as well. And that's something, I'm like that. I love doing things myself. I love having them in order. I love having everything under control. And I felt like that was not under my control. So yeah, so then I went home for Christmas, and I was very upset and frustrated, and looking for new inspiration. And my mom, who's a very open-minded person, she told me about NFTs, and she said, I heard they're making, music NFTs. Why don't you try? Like, potentially you can find a new audience, like new people in the world, a completely new field. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I don't have anything to lose. Let's go. you know. So I dropped everything I was doing. I stopped responding to people's emails. I stopped going to songwriting sessions. I started turning down auditions, turning down concerts, because I was like, this needs my attention right now, my full on commitment. And so I did it, and now here we are 4 months later.
That's
So
amazing. So so it's a real family project then. Your mum
yeah.
triggered you into it. you you made the music and your dad did the art. That's
Yes.
yeah, that's insane. I
My
don't
mom
think I
said
think
she's
I'd
been my
heard
manager.
parts of those stories at different times, but I hadn't necessarily connected them in that way. That's
Which
just
is
an
funny
insane.
because like my mom is she's like she could be my manager, I think, if she had time, if she like was a bit more experienced, but she always did something else, you know. She works in an office and stuff, but she has this kind of she's forward thinking, you know. She looks beyond. And my dad's the opposite, but my dad's creative. So, you know, we created this little team, and my parents are not even together anymore. So it's like I just, you know, but they still worked together for me, which just proves they've always been super supportive with me since I started playing music, and with my sister as well. So in their own way, it's like we're a team still. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I hope this isn't embarrassing, but as you know, I have been in a virtual nightclub with your mum. That
That's true.
Decentraland
True
concert.
that. Crazy.
That was insane. That was brilliant. And I do think because you do so much on Twitter Spaces, but I do think video just enhances it, where you can actually see the music being produced as well. It's just another level of connection.
Yeah.
It's the only drawback, isn't it? I was just looking at Spotify though, Violetta. Surely, I love, you know, I'm just leading up to you explaining the Spotify model and how well that benefits people, you know. So yeah, look, you got millions of views on Spotify. You must be rich.
Very funny. Yeah, so I have millions of streams,
Yeah,
yes. In a few songs. Some of them did better, some of them did not so better, not that better, but I have consistent, you know, around 50,000 monthly listeners, meaning 50,000 different people listen to my songs every month, which is great. It's a lot of people. However, the money that you get paid, like if you want to make that, we could, you know, we could make the calculation. I can tell you, you know, there's I think I have a total of um 10 million streams in total on Spotify, and every million pays $3,000, right? So, and that's like I have a total of 10 million since I started releasing music on Spotify 6 years ago. So it's like, you know, it's really not very much money. Um, Not enough money to survive, not enough money to invest. And, you know, I have also a manager that's still that from the past, that takes a percentage of that. So it's like, it's not even, I don't even see it. I don't feel it in my bank account, you know. I really literally don't. It's maybe I'll get 150 every month, something like that, you know, because it's these three grand per million spread throughout the year, spread throughout 6 years. It's just, yeah, it's basically nothing. So
yeah, and we've talked about this before, but I'm never sure about like a project or a music project that tries to like share revenue from a song with the community, because I'm just like, that's a tiny amount of money that's sliced up a load of ways, the administration of it probably costs more than actually you could actually give out through that sort of monetization route.
Yeah, so right now, like there's 930 people that are in the Moonshot community. Imagine if I was to split that with 930 people, and it's just not doable. Some people do it. There's this company that Blau founded. Blau, the DJ, he's a big NFT artist as well. He's really famous in Web 2 as well. But he's very approachable. Like you see him on Twitter Spaces. He has a community. He founded this company called Royal, where basically people can buy shares of artists' royalties with crypto or with cash, like normal money, fiat. So it's not necessarily just a Web3 thing. And the only artists that he onboards on this platform are artists that have way beyond what I have, which is already a lot. The fact that 50,000 different people hear my music every month is already a lot. But he has like Nas and the Chainsmokers, like huge superstars, where it makes sense if you can buy like 0.5% of their whole catalog, then yeah, it's still not going to be a lot for you.
Yeah.
But it's definitely steady and it's passive income if you want, So, but he's probably making, 100 grand a month on that. So, which is still not a lot if you think that he's got maybe 100 million or 1 billion, streams. It's still not very much. So,
yeah. No, it's it's difficult, isn't it? And it's a harsh reality. It's only seeing you in Spaces and Sammy and people like that you actually understand the financials and how screwed
like
the artists are.
Sammy Arriaga, for example, and if people don't know him watching, they should check him out. I mean, he's got really good numbers on Spotify. He's got almost 400,000 monthly listeners. And he still is not happy with that because he understands that the money is not enough if you want to actually have a career. So yeah, you have to be a lot bigger than that as well to make sense, for it to make sense.
Yeah, that's cool. So let's start talking NFT projects then, as you're a NFT founder, as one of your many hats that you wear. So Moonshot isn't your first foray, is it? You've done a couple of things before the Moonshot project. So do you want to tell us about them?
Yes. So when I first came into this space, in January, I started working on a small collection called Handmade Songs that I wanted to be like my introduction to this new audience. And it was really cool when I started speaking to Nifty Sachs, who's my project manager, and the team. And I asked them, I was so like traumatized in a sense by Web 2, where everyone is always telling you what kind of song you need for which platform. You got a streaming song, you got a live performance song, a TV song, a radio song. So I was like, what song do I need for NFTs? What's the criteria? And he's like, yeah, for real. Like, and he's like, you know what? Just do the thing that you love the most. You are sitting in your living room and you want to relax. You play music. Show us that, because he did it himself, right? He's a multi-instrumentalist, but his most loved instrument is his saxophone. So he dropped 2 entire collection with solo saxophones and sold them out in hours, because it's the most authentic and the thing that you can keep up as well. Like you really love it. So I was like, that's really cool. Okay, who am I then? I may as well introduce myself with my authentic self. And I just love playing my songs on guitar. Like that's what I'm good at. The good thing about me, I think, is I can travel anywhere in the world with my guitar, put on an hour and a half show, and that's what it is. And my songs allow it, because not every song allows you to play just acoustic, right? So I thought, I'm going to do that. I have a bunch of new songs. I'm going to go to the studio, record them once, one take, no editing, and just make it feel like it's live, like people are hearing them on Twitter Spaces, from like very directly from the artist to the listener. And I did that, and it was 5 editions of the first song and 10 editions of the second song, and then a one of one. The editions went really fast, at the pre-sale. And then the one of one was a music video, very intimate, very personal video of me playing the song in my living room. So, I wanted to make it one. So it was like really for one person, Um, and that sold for 3.7 ETH. And then after 2 weeks, someone placed a bid for 5 ETH on secondary, and they got it. Of course, the person accepted it, which is really cool. And I know the person that bought the one for 5 ETH on secondary. He's a very good collector in the space. He collects, of course, lots of PFPs. He's got a lot of blue chip projects in his wallet, like 5 Bored Apes, etc. Um, but also, yeah, he had like 13 Azukis as well, which is crazy. Um, but he also collects, photography, NFTs, fine art, and one of ones. Because he told me, he said, I think these one of ones, these like innovative NFTs in the space that are not just trading cards like PFPs, they're going to be very present in the future. And these first artists that do it now, they're going to remain over time. So he explained it, and then he also asked me if I can do a one of one just for him as well. So that opens up a whole new world as well.
Yeah.
How cool is it if someone can commission you a song and you write it about them and it's just theirs? And that's like completely unique. And you could sell it potentially, but it's also like you're gonna keep it because it's yours, because it's for you. So I'm working on that as well. And yeah, that was the first collection.
That's amazing, though. So you've already played with various different styles and learnt all along the way, all the time being in loads and loads of Twitter spaces. I just had a thought. Where was the first sort of NFT community you landed in? Because you help and support so many, Monsters, Shonen, Bunny Buddy. There's the list is just endless.
Yeah.
Practically every project I'm in. But where did you first land, and where became your kind of, your go-to places?
Yeah. So in terms of like PFP project community, because I first landed in like a musician space.
Yeah,
I went to, there was a marketing space where a lot of musicians were hanging out in all the time. And I landed in that one, and I felt really comfortable because it was all musicians and stuff. But let's say the first like project community that took me in, I think it was the Apocalyptic Apes.
yeah.
Uh,
I remember walking the dog one day, and you were just going through loads of your different sort of styles and things that have been done for movies and stuff like that. It was amazing. I remember. Um,
yeah. Yeah, I think it was them because they had spaces all the time and they popped up in my feed. They literally had spaces going 24 hours a day. So I remember, yeah, I remember popping in like the Australian one in the morning or something, which was late night for them. And immediately they asked me to sing, and then they gave me an ape, and the floor at the time was like point 0.6, and they just sent me one. So I felt very welcomed.
yeah,
So they're really nice, and that's where Sammy's home is too. Sammy Ariaga. That's A Apes are his family. Um, and then yeah, I just started making friends with a lot of different ones, but I think the A Apes were the first ones.
yeah, and you're supporting community. What I love about you in these spaces, Violetta, as well, is you always have to be asked to tell people about what you're doing. You know, you start off giving value. You get up, you talk, you talk about what's being talked about. You know, some people jump in. I had a brilliant one the other day of someone shilling, of
Yeah.
literally jumped in, requested to speak, said, "I've got a project, buy it."
I
And I
mean,
was
that
like,
doesn't work.
yeah, I jokingly said to him, well, that's a compelling story. Thank you for telling us that. I'm really going to go and buy your NFT now, you know? That's, but yeah, you always go value first. And you're always contributing in these spaces, you know, you are a bit of an expert because of how much time you spend with spaces and different communities, and you see what's going on, you
I've
know.
learned the drill for sure. I've learned how to squeeze in, like to make friends. But the first thing that I read about NFTs, because I remember when I started doing my research back in, like, I don't know, like early January, I was like, okay, cool, NFTs, sure. But they cannot possibly be selling themselves. Like, I'm sure you
Yeah,
have to do something to sell them, right? So I started looking, like, just reading, like, how do you build a community? How do you, and everywhere it said, bring value, contribute. Don't expect it to come to you. Don't just expect value from others to you. First thing, forget about yourself. Bring value to others. Um, and that was the first lesson that I learned. And so now I go into different communities, like, every day. Like, the other day, I happened to be in the Apians community that I'd never heard of. And but someone up there in the speakers knew me, so they brought me up. And I don't remember who they were, to be honest, but they brought me up, and then we started talking, and they asked me immediately, because I said, I'm just chilling, just learning about your community. They asked me immediately about who I was, and before I even sang, someone in the audience DM'd the host and said, I'm sending her one of these, because, and I hadn't even sang, because they're just like, we like having um, artists in the community, people with different talents, people who are, like, appreciative and curious. And I think that's the way to go. I think as artists, you have a head start, like
yeah.
a good head start, because everyone appreciates having an artist in their community, like an athlete, someone with a specific skill. They love that. um but yeah, I guess just showing interest. And I think Sammy is really good at that as well. He just buys NFTs left and right. He posts them, he participates with communities. So yeah. Yeah, but it's fun.
And it's fair to say that's also, you know, paid back to you as well, because people from the communities have, you know, as you're doing this project, they've come in and stepped up and said, hey, I'll give one of these as a giveaway for you, Violetta. I mean, I gave away one of yours. I'm pretty gutted about it now, but you know, I've still got the other 8. But you know, it comes back, doesn't it? You provide value, and then people want to provide value back to you. And it's a great model for new people coming into the space as well, to really take note of. Come in, listen,
Yeah.
contribute to the conversation, think about yourself last, because people will ask you if you don't push it forward. You know, they'll naturally want to know.
Yeah, definitely. It is definitely a lot of work, and you have to, like, really be humble, because these people are not necessarily looking for somebody else. Like, they're talking about, their own thing. I remember, I will always remember when I went to the Grandpa Abe Country Club space. I'd heard that they were an amazing community, very tight, and they are, like, they really are incredibly strong. And I just went in to lurk and listen. And one day, I just gathered my courage, and I was like, okay, I'm going to request, and I'm going to go up and ask them if they want some music. And so I went up and I said, I heard so much about you guys. I've been watching you and listening, blah, blah, blah. I'm a singer. I was wondering if you would like to hear a song. And there was crickets for a second, there was crickets, and they were like, we're kind of in the middle of something right now. Like, they didn't immediately say yes. They didn't appreciate, because they were very they were analyzing the traits and the mutants and the M1s and the floor, like being very technical. And then, so I was like, yeah, sure, whenever you guys want. And they're like, can you do it on cue? Sure. So I waited. So you have to be humble in that sense, you have to step back. They said, you're going into their house, you have to step back. And then eventually they're like, okay, Violetta, go ahead, sing. And then I sang, and then they invited me every single time after that. And then they gave me one of their NFTs, and now it's like, so, but it took a little bit of humility there.
Yeah, definitely. So I reckon before we talk about Moonshot, maybe we'll have a song then. Maybe we'll do Moonshot, introduce people to the title track of the collection, and then we'll chat a little bit about it. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that it's my favorite.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
All right, let's do it.
So I'll mute just in case, so you don't get any feedback or anything.
I hope I can sing it, because I'm pretty tired, but I'm going to try my best. Does it sound okay? Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. This is Moonshot, the title track of the album and the project as well. I would cross the universe and circle around the sun to find that little part of my heart I've never known. And I would give up everything. I would defy gravity, 'cause something's out there telling me I am not alone. And I will travel far and wide to reach my destination. Fly among the stardust, realigning constellations. So fire up my rocket ship, I'm ready to risk it all. 'Cause you and me are meant to be the moonshot of the moon. Watching out the window as the planets pass me by, sending out a signal, waiting your reply. I'm not afraid of loneliness, but you're the only thing I miss. So if you're there in the abyss, send me back a sign. I will travel far and wide to reach my destination. Fly among the stardust, realigning constellations. So fire up my rocket ship, I'm ready to risk it all. 'Cause you and me are meant to be the moonshot of the moon. to fire up my rocket ship. I'm ready to risk it all. 'Cause you and me are meant to be the moonshot of the moon. Ooh.
Amazing as always. Amazing. I love that song.
Thank you.
I've got the Moonshot copy with the Violetta signature. That's
Ooh,
definitely,
perfect.
yeah, I'm well happy with that one. So let's talk Moonshot then. Do you just want to tell us about it? You've got it really down now, haven't you? I think you've probably done it about 1,000 times, maybe
Probably,
even more. Maybe even more, yeah.
Probably, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try and keep it short. So Moonshot, of course, is a music NFT collection, although it is kind of structured like a PFP project in a sense that is somewhat generative. The artworks that you see there in the screen share are the OG. No, I'm not even. Sorry, that's not true. There are five of like the ones that you can buy. But basically, how it worked was my dad, who's a Disney artist, who's been drawing comics for Disney for a long time. He took inspiration from 5 songs that I had, and hand drew 5 original artworks, one for each song, and then for each artwork generated traits and different rarities and on layers and layers and layers, and then in the end with a script. Sorry, I'm receiving a phone call.
Don't worry, no problem.
Sorry. It's actually Josh Savage calling me. I'm trying to ignore. How do you ignore a call?
You want to flick the button on the side. I mean, we could send him a link. He can jump on if he needs to talk to you.
I'm literally trying to figure out. I think that's it. Come on. Sorry
Don't
about
worry.
that.
Well, hopefully Violetta's coming back because, yeah, I don't have the talent to carry that off, but hopefully she'll jump back in once she's worked out her phone. In the meantime, I will just highlight some of the utilities. Violetta will tell us all about this, I'm sure. She'll be back in a second. I'm watching the screen. So, yeah, basically this collection has loads of utility attached, as well as the different rarities of frames and 5 different songs, 5 different artworks with different variations within them, done by her father. You've also got, if you hold 2, you've got a raffle ticket there. Oh, thanks, Violetta.
Oh my God. I don't know what happened.
You're rescuing me now. We've not
Sorry.
got your camera on at the moment.
I'm back.
But yeah, no, I was just having a little look at the utility. But
yeah, I'm gonna get into it. Yeah. So basically, yeah, every artwork is unique, and for every NFT, there's one of 5 songs, right? And basically, the song could be considered a trait. There are 9 total levels of rarity, plus, well, actually, there's 10. So from amber, which is the most common one, and they're defined by the color of the border of the frame. Amber is the most common one. And we go all the way up to gold, which is the second rarest one. And then there's diamond, and there's 5 diamond 1-of-1s in the whole collection. So that's how you kind of define the rarities. However, there are some traits that are more unique and rare, and they might be in some of the NFTs with a common frame. So that might make your common NFT rarer. For example, some of those traits that you might find are the signatures. You can find my signatures or the artist's signature. Sometimes you find them both in the same NFT, which makes it more rare. People really go after those. And you know, some other traits like the cat, their alien cat, blue cat, those are quite rare. Solar flares on the song Moonshot, that's quite rare as well. Nifty music trait. There's a bunch of traits that you can look and basically, yeah, you see the alien cat there's 6 ETH.
That's a nice floor.
Yeah, and none of the other ones are listed because there's only 15 of those in the whole collection, right? So it's my personal favorite trait. I don't have one, and I'd love one. But yeah, there's things like that. Obviously, it's not like a traditional PFP project with 800 traits. It's not like that. However, there are, you know, color combinations that are traits within itself. So you might want to go for the one that is more common, but you like the looks of it, or it's got a signature or whatever, or the song that you want. So yeah, that's basically how it's structured. In terms of utility, of course, I am an in real life artist, so I try to give people the opportunity to have in real life utility. So, for example, if you collect every song, no matter what rarity, automatically you get free lifetime access to my concerts anywhere in the world. So you've got to complete the album. If you have rubies, ruby frames, silver frames, or gold frames, you get a vinyl too, and you automatically get the free tickets without having to collect all 5 songs. You just need one, but obviously the rubies and the silvers are more expensive. So yeah, we're pressing vinyls right now, prints of the artwork for the gold holders. The diamond holders get to come to the studio with me when I do my next recording, my next album. So we provide that kind of IRL experience. If you collect, for example, all of the 9 frames, or 10, of course, but all the 9, basically the first utility for those who collected all 9 frames was to get the diamond, to have access to diamond. And we thought, okay, this is going to happen over time. But then immediately 5 people collected all the 9, so they had access to the diamond. So I decided to add more utility for those who collect all 9, and I'm going to give them a free claim of the acoustic version of the song with an alternative version of the artwork as well. So they have like a completely unique NFT for them as a prize. We have a lot of gamification in the way you can collect these things, because you can collect those bundles, and people are having a lot of fun with collecting all the signatures and all the emerald frames and all the. So yeah, it's been pretty fun. And yeah, that's basically it. But of course, you know, I do private concerts for my holders every Friday on Zoom. You know, that's like ongoing utility, and so is the free tickets. So I have a bunch of shows in June in America, and a lot of people from the community are coming, and they just got to show their NFTs at the door, and they're on the guest list, which is pretty cool. So yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant. So at the most basic level, if you just want to, you know, someone can just get one NFT and get those Friday concerts, you know, intimate Zoom concerts, and you bring along a guest every time. So, you know, they're just amazing in themselves. So, you know, people don't have to, unlike Pokemon, they don't have to collect them all. They can just get one, you know.
Yeah.
Get in the community, partake, and you know, people don't even have to collect them all. You know, how many spaces are you doing a day? I mean, it's crazy number, isn't it? So I suppose that kind of leads into a little bit about the minting, and then yesterday, really. So when did the mint start again? I don't remember. I'm sure you
started April 16th.
Okay. Not that long ago then, really.
5 weeks ago, 5.5 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And quite uniquely, really, for something that's taking that long to mint out. I know you were supremely worried about, you know, not minting out and FUD coming, but because you've got such a community that you grew organically, who know you, have access to you in spaces all the time, chat with you. What the when you were worried about selling out and speeding it up, and you asked the community, what did they say to you?
Yeah, so yeah, we were worried. We thought we would cut the supply at 1,500 instead of 2,500 because we didn't want the floor price to crash, and we just wanted to get to the utility because we thought, okay, maybe people are going to be impatient. So we summoned everybody in a Twitter space, and everyone was very supportive, and they encouraged me not to burn the supply. They were like, we don't care. We can wait. We think you can do it. And, to an extent, I had been working so hard to that point that, I wasn't ready to keep grinding that hard, because I had kind of hit a wall. I was waiting for that moment, thinking it would sell out quicker so that I could rest a little bit. So that was the biggest challenge, because in a way I wanted to not to discourage the audience, the community, and wanted, to work on the floor management and the utility. And at the same time, take a couple of days off because I was like completely tired, like completely exhausted. But then again, the community came through and said, look, we don't care about the utility right now. We think you can mint it out. And I was like, yeah, but that I have to stay up for another, month, 17 hours a day. That's how it's going to sell out. There's no other way, one by one. And I'm the one doing it, So, but they gave me no excuse. They were like, we got your back. Now you have to grind. Now you have to keep grinding. I was like, well, I cannot let them down. I can't. So they have my back. I have no excuse. I have to keep not sleeping. Like, that's the only solution. So
I don't think you have to keep not sleeping, but yeah, no.
But I have to keep the grind. And I was seriously convinced that I wasn't gonna have to. And then it lasted another 5 weeks or so, 4 weeks of intense hustling. But it was all worth it. And I got to a point where I wasn't even feeling it anymore. I was like, oh, whatever, this is my life, this is how it is. I wasn't even wanting to stop anymore. And I'll be honest, it's going to be hard for me right now to not to be obsessed. Because but the last 5 weeks have been fun in a sense, because I have onboarded a lot more people in the community. Like, every space that I will go to, I sing a song and then I get a few minutes out of it, So I just knew that the more I did that, the closer I would get to the end. And it did actually work. It wasn't like nobody was like, oh, it's been minting for a few weeks, I'm not jumping in. When you present them with music, they understand that that's where the value is, no matter what it's not like it has to have FOMO to be successful, like some other projects that are empty inside. With music, there's an artist who has a career outside of Web3 and stuff, so everyone's like, yeah, I'll mint, and some people came in, minted 10 or whatever, a little bit at a time. So it was very organic and very, very cool in the end.
Yeah, I honestly don't understand how you do as much as you do in the space, because you like yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday. I mean, you're normally in the Nifty Alpha space, aren't you? Because I see you there a lot of the time. I mean, big shout out here, guys. I love the Nifty Alpha, but you really need to get Violetta up on stage and talking at some point, and she'd probably even do your song, and maybe even might melt Nick's heart a little bit. But Pio, you're Italian. You're letting the Italians down if you're not supporting a fellow Italian.
Well, he let up July the Ginny, that guy who did the Crypto Boy song.
Yeah.
And July is Italian as well.
Oh,
So
okay. I didn't know that.
Italian American, not
Yeah.
like fully, but yeah. So I could say that. Hey, I heard you're letting Italians up.
Yeah. But seriously, nifty guys, just have Violetta out. She's got a lot to offer. So now I've lost my train of thought, really.
You were thinking yesterday. You were saying,
Yesterday, yeah. So yesterday it all sort of went, didn't it? And what was amazing to me yesterday was, were you actually not live somewhere at any point from like lunchtime to about 4 a.m? I think I fell asleep in your sort of party
yeah,
space
you
last
did,
night.
because you were there until I went to sleep, and I went to bed at 6 this morning.
Yeah, it was just insane. Yeah, I'm so pleased. We're going to wrap this up at an hour, because I hope you get some time between this and the next thing. But I have a funny feeling you'll just be jumping on the next space. But yeah, talk me through yesterday. What happened? How did the
Yeah,
final
so
moment happen? Because your concert, you were so emotional, last night. I mean, it's always
mhm,
amazing, those Zoom
I lost
concerts.
it.
Yeah, yeah, you did. But you were just so pleased and blown away, and you'd been on spaces constantly. But yeah, yesterday, go on, talk us through it a little bit.
Yeah, so yesterday, well, I had some stuff to do in the morning, and got back in the afternoon. I mean, morning, like 1 p.m. Got back in the afternoon and stuff, and I jumped into a space, a Lazy Lion space that I was hanging out in. And then I was supposed to do my space for the reveal. We do the reveal party. We did every Friday, and I was supposed to do that at 8 p.m. And then someone messages me and says, "Hey, we're in this space right now. They're wrapping it up in 3 hours. It's the end of a 24-hour space where they just minted out a project. Why don't you come in and sing a song real quick?" So I'm like, "Yeah, okay, I'll come in for 15 minutes and then go to my space." So I went in, and the founder of the project, I saw, "How many you got left in your mint?" I said 150. He says, "I think we can do it now." I think we can reach out now, because there were 250 people in the room who
Yeah,
had just been, there for 24 hours straight. So it was like, "I think we can do that. Let's do some giveaways." And then he started saying like, "Okay, I'm going to give away an NFT every 20 minutes." And then someone else like, "Hey, I'm giving away this." And when that starts, everyone jumps on board because they all want to give away stuff. So in
yeah.
the end, we had 15 prizes, including a
Wow.
Lazy Lion that I was giving away myself. Um, so basically, there were only like 150 mints left and 15 plus prizes. There are a lot of winners, right? So yeah, mints just started flying. I canceled the space that I had scheduled. I said to everyone to come in there, and they were gone in an hour. And it was that easy. So
Yeah. We've all been waiting for that last bit. When you get towards the end, it's just like it just takes one trigger event, and
yeah,
and
but it was crazy because up until yesterday, I was going up 1% every day. So it was like 91%, 92%, 93%. And I expected it to be that way until the very end. Like I would have to grind the last 5 minutes. I would seriously have to. But no, then I got so much support from all those communities. They were like, "You always come in, sing for us, support us, blah, blah, blah. We want to donate." And people started donating crazy stuff. And in the end, that was it. And then the Discord started blowing up. And immediately after that, I had the concert for the holders on Zoom. So we celebrated on Zoom. We had Josh Savage as a guest. He played a few songs too. So we spent a couple of hours there. Then immediately I had an interview on a space at midnight that I went to for an hour and a half. And then I started my mint out party space at 1:30 a.m., which kept going until 6 a.m. And that's when I went to bed.
and then you're back here sort of 2 p.m. And you're
Well, yeah,
probably
and then I
going
had
again.
this thing at 11 where I had a half an hour interview, and I played a song, two songs, and then I went back to bed for a bit, and then now I'm here. So.
Oh, it's just amazing. I'm just so pleased. And obviously there's loads more coming now for the community, the next collections, the vinyls, all sort, you know. Oh, a couple of concerts worth mentioning as well. You know, you've got the Nashville concert
Yeah.
coming up, and you've got the NFT NYC one as well.
Yeah, so June 10th, I'm performing in Nashville with Sammy Arriaga. We have it's a cafe called the Listening Room Cafe, but it's pretty big. It's 300 capacity. So it's during the Country Music Fest week. So it's going to be very cool. We have a few people from the community coming, and of course they have their NFTs, so they come in for free, which is cool. Then I'll be at NFT NYC, and I have a bunch of performances booked for then. I will also be a speaker and host a panel with Josh. We are going to have our own live Twitter space. And yes, thanks for pinning that. I was nominated, one of the 5 nominees, artists for best application of NFTs to the music industry. There was a pre-vote a few weeks ago, and then it ended up being the 5 of us. Sammy Ariaga's there, Spotty Wi-Fi, Warp Sound, Blau, and myself. I'm the only woman, as per usual, and the only European artist as well, which is cool. So if you guys want to vote, I would appreciate that. I think it would bring a lot of attention to the project and the community if I could win that. So yeah, but already I'm very proud of being nominated. I mean, of all the artists in the world. So
It's amazing. Oh, I'm sure I had. There we go. There we go.
there it is. Yeah.
Music, fashion, and media category. So everyone, please. There's only a few days left, so please do go and vote. The other artists are amazing, but please vote for Violetta. You know, the only woman on the list. So
Yeah.
all you
We
women
don't want
projects
another
out there, come on.
we don't want another dude to win, do we? Come on.
Well, I mean, unless it's me, but if I start
Unless
singing
it's
in their
you. But
face,
it'd be nice if there was a woman up there, wouldn't it?
100%. And let's be honest, Violetta, you know, you're number 1 seller on OpenSea. You've gone about it completely the right way. You've not paid 1 penny to influencers or tried to pump. You've grown your community. You've contributed to other communities. I mean, it's just been amazing. I'm so pleased. That really made my day yesterday when I
Oh,
saw that
yeah.
start popping up with everyone going, Violetta sold out. I'm like, oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. Like, oof, you know.
How cool is that? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just the amount of work you've put into it, and the fact that you're, yeah, I kind of see you. The way you speak a lot like Gary V about NFTs. Um, in terms of the community and delivering value for the community, and your actions as well speak louder than words. You know, like the diamonds. You know, people get in all of the songs, they get diamond. You straight away jumped in and put more utility in for the other people because it happened so fast, and you're like, okay, well, I can do something else here. I can put some value into the community, so there's a reason for people to do it. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
like a female Gary V, but you've got talent.
I am V when you think about
Yeah, exactly.
it.
No, that's true. That's absolutely true. Well, we're literally at an hour. Do you have to drop off right now, or should I feel like we should finish it with one song.
Let's finish it with one song. Definitely.
Brilliant. Um, Up to you. Anything you want. I'll take that off. I'll take myself out of the way as well and go on mute.
All right. I'm gonna sing
Oh no,
I'll sing Sugar.
sorry. Just got to swap these around and go for that.
All right, so the song I'm going to sing is called Sugar. It's one of the songs in the album, in the collection. And yeah, here we go. You're my medication when I'm feeling blue. You got a reputation, Papa don't approve. You play with my emotions, but you go down smooth. I kinda wanna be myself with you. I need some affection, take me home tonight. We could have sex or talk about our lives. It's almost time for breakfast, here's some Fruity Loops. I kinda wanna chill right here with you, 'cause we're perfectly imperfect, bittersweet, but worth it. We all need a little sugar. Perfectly imperfect, that's how we prefer it. We just need a little sugar. Wasn't my intention, did I lead you on? Guess I forgot to mention I'm a little wrong, a little unstable. I could go boom, but I think I'm gonna be myself with you. Here's to my reality, fireworks on New Year's Eve, pins and needles, hard to breathe, and I wonder why I never sleep. Pull for my anxiety, pull for your insanity, a little bit of sugar, pretty please. Yeah, we're perfectly imperfect, bittersweet, but worth it. We all need a little sugar. Perfectly imperfect, that's how we prefer it. We just need a little sugar. Perfectly imperfect, we all need a little sugar.
So good. So good. Let me come back. So yeah, any final thoughts you want to give before we say goodbye? That's been so brilliant. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
And well bloody done and well deserved as well.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me on the show today. Yeah, I just, is it going to be recorded? Can I?
It'll be it's up on YouTube Live.
Cool.
And yes, if you want the recording, yeah, I can stick it on Google Drive and share it with you if you want it.
Oh no, I was just wondering for people who'd missed it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit early for our American cousins. They have to sleep, don't they? You know, yeah, that's the good thing with YouTube. Do it live, and then people can watch it whenever they want.
Perfect.
So yeah, I mean, go and have a look at Violetta's website. Go and see what the utility is, and get involved in collecting it. And there's more stuff to come. There's much more value to come in there. I mean, you've already written songs. Let's be honest. They're ready for the next step. You've got loads of songs, haven't you? So. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been brilliant to have you, and have a great weekend. And please take some time off.
I'm gonna go get a pedicure now.
Okay. Well, that's one way to go. Have you been to the off license yet? Have you been to get some celebratory drink yet?
Yeah, I went last night, and I shouldn't have, because I drank too much, and then this morning I was struggling. But yeah.
I think you earned it yesterday. Brilliant. Yeah. So that's all for this week. Thank you so much, Violetta, and see you in Spaces probably in about 30 minutes or something, knowing you. All right.
Bye. Bye-bye.